Don, thank you so much for sharing your time with us at
You're welcome.
SD Chai Day. Most times when we're talking Star Trek, I get to ask people about the earliest memories of Star Trek. You are an oddity where you have one of the earliest memories of Star Trek.
Yeah.
I would love to hear, what was the process like of filming during the original series and getting to be Captain Pike?
At first, when I went to Paramount, the Joe Augusto, I think, was the casting person. He said, I said to him, do I come in to read? And he said, no, you're actually going to meet Gene Roddenberry. I said, oh, okay. So they took me around to his office. I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, Gene walks in, and he's got a picture of Jeffrey Hunter. And he looks at me, and then he puts the picture up like this, and he says, it's a match. Like that. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you look enough like this actor, and we need to use you because he's not available right now. It was that crazy. I mean, it was the first job, and then, I'm going to get billing on the show and everything, but I can't talk, So it was really crazy, but that's how that happened.
And so getting to film during that era, obviously they recut the pilot, and that was where you got to come in.
Exactly.
What was it like, just as far as filming? Did it feel like it was going to be something special while you were there, or did it come years later?
No, it did, because the way it was being photographed and the way they wanted me there every morning at 6 o'clock, and I knew they said it's going to be a normal shoot of 5 days, but we're going to probably have to do 8 days with you. And I thought, wow, I'm the center of attraction in the show, knowing that you're on 8 days for an hour show. And it actually went to 2 hours. And then they chopped it up, but they needed that. So even though, I'm the newcomer to the television industry, I mean, I was in theater, and that's how they found me, and an agent found me in theater and asked me if I knew who Gene Roddenberry was, and I said no, and I said, oh, you'll know who he is. I want to set up an appointment with you for Paramount. And I said, well, what's going on? Well, it's something that you might be perfect for, like that. And so I knew the importance of the woman finding me, that there was some sort of thing that was special about me doing it. So that's how it, and then the makeup took 5 hours every day. And that was a chore, and they had to dye my hair totally white. And it was, I knew it was a very important part because of the emphasis they put into it was pretty amazing,
Why do you think Star Trek has carried on so consistently for decades?
I think it's because the events that have proceeded from the show are very much like what Star Trek was trying to show before it happened. So it's almost like psychically, they knew in the future there's going to be this kind of stuff. And look what's going on now about wars and this and that and prejudice, people. When you look at some of those episodes, you go, wow, I mean, time machine, whoa. Oh, wow, this is going on. And 50 years ago, who would have known that was going to be coming right now? Aliens? I mean, come on, the aliens exist. I mean, I've had people that work in the military, and they say, no, they exist. They're here, man. We've met them and everything. And I'm going, and Gene had them all over the shows, even with Spock, coming from where he came from.
So beyond Star Trek, just talking about your career, you already touched on sort of how you got into acting.
Yes.
But I would just love to know, what other roles and opportunities have really been your standouts, your favorites throughout your career?
Writing, because I thought, wow, I'd look at a script and say 60 pages, 1 hour. I think I can do that. So I wrote 4 movies. I wrote 4 actually features, which I have, and one of them was optioned for almost 2 years with Columbia. And I thought, if I hadn't seen my scripts that they would hand me for the 1 hour show from Star Trek, I wouldn't know how it's done. Because if you're not in the business and you're not seeing a script that somebody gives you, you're wondering, well, how did they photograph this? How do they, how are the lines? Are they long? Are they short? And Star Trek really had some really good writers. I mean, they were getting Emmy Awards like you can't believe. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
that helped me to be a writer. And then later acting in it, and then seeing the difference, because I came from theater, it shows you the difference between theater and film acting. It's quite different. People don't realize that.